Welcome to SYNACK Consultants CyberCafe, your number one trusted resource for cybersecurity education, training, and insight. Now let's learn. Today we're going to talk about ransomware. Ransomware is a new type of attack that's been making its way around the internet lately, and we've had people ask us to explore and explain how it works and what it's all about. And one of the goals of this new video series is to explain complicated issues in easy to understand ways. So to that end, let's jump right into it and say that ransomware is basically another type of virus. And like all viruses, it seeks to expand, explore, and to go as far as it can, basically. But one of the key characteristics of ransomware is that in its seeking to explore, it also does a particularly devious things by encrypting any type of files, documents, or application that comes across in the environment. And what I mean by encryption for the uninitiated is that let's take a regular document here, and let's say you have your customer information on here. Let's say this is Bob and Alice, and maybe their customer ID numbers. That's a regular file. You open that up, but let's say you have a need to encrypt this, and maybe it's confidential information. You don't want other people to see it. You will run this through an encryption algorithm, and when it comes out the other end, it'll look like this, gibberish. And then you can send that to over the internet or wherever you want, and you can be rest assured that the uninitiated wouldn't have access to that. And being that you were the one to encrypt it, you would also have the decryption key, which you could use to unencrypt it and receive the original file. And that's basically how encryption works on a functional basis. Not mathematically, is a lot more complicated than that, but maybe we can make a video to explain encryption. But so back to ransomware. So that's what it does. It makes its way throughout your environment and encrypts files. And you may be thinking, okay, what does that mean? Maybe is it doing me a favor? Well, let's explore that a little bit. So let's say that you have your user here who was the attack vector. Maybe he clicked on something he shouldn't have, and the hacker was able to gain access via his computer to your environment. Okay, so using his computer as a springboard into your environment here, you have all this sensitive information. Maybe you have proprietary IP documents. Again, maybe you have financial information. Maybe you have customer information. That should remain local within your organization and not be spread throughout the internet. What you have if ransomware were able to get in is it would gain access to these files and it would then encrypt them. The kicker in this encryption is that you don't have the application, or rather the decryption key like you would if you encrypted these files. The hacker has the encryption keys. So Joe Hacker over here, let me see if I can draw this up here. Yeah, there we go. Joe Hacker. Let's give him a fedora. Yeah. Oh. So Joe Hacker here is the one who holds the key. And he will be willing to share this key with you, of course, for a set amount of money. And this is where the ransomware comes in, is that to retrieve access or to retrieve the key, in order to retrieve access back to your files and documents, you would then pay this attacker money to retrieve the key. And that would gain you access back to your files. Now, there's a whole host of issues that we didn't go over here for the sake of time, such as how ransomware gets inside of our environment. What are some of the ways that users could be a little bit more vigilant about these attacks? That's another series of videos we'll go into. But one thing we do want to go over before we end this video is what can you do to protect yourselves from an attack such as this. There's a number of things you can do, but one of the safest nuggets of advice that you could do is to regularly back up your files. You probably heard this a lot, but backups are extremely important. operationally, but as well as for attacks of this nature, you want to be able to continue business operations without having to pay ransom. That's something that any business owner probably wants to pay attention to. So on a regular basis, you want to make sure you're backing up these files, because if the event you were ever a victim of a ransomware attack, and let's say these files are encrypted, like I said before, you don't ever have access to it, well, all's not over with. If you have a relatively recent copy of these files, you can just pull them out of your database here, and you're back in business. So backups are vitally important and one of the main stalwarts and obstacles against ransomware. So we're going to wrap this up here, and maybe we'll come back to this topic and expound a little bit more on some of the particular issues of ransomware. But we hope that that was helpful and informative, and we trust that you guys will let us know if we missed anything, or if you want just to make any type of comments or revisions. Please do so, and we'll revisit it and edit and maybe make this a new video series, because there's a lot to explain on that. But until then, we want to thank you for visiting SYNACK Consultant CyberCafe, and we'll see you the next time.